Hello, world. It's Katha Cato, the Executive Director of the Queens World Film Festival. And, my loyal sidekick, Preston Cato, is not with us today in this recording because it is submission season and he is watching films right now. So I'm going alone. I'm in good hands with Dedline AV, and I'd like to just welcome everybody to the Listening Tour. And the Listening Tour is a program of the Queens World Film Festival. And how did this start? What is the Listening Tour? So in September, it was sort of this experiment we started doing, and we had young people who were here, and I think one of our guests was here also at the very, very, very first. And it was really a way to season us as a group, but also start to get people to talk about hope and resilience and provide opportunities to hear and to listen. And so we have 12 videos that are finished now, and we have, I think, 17 or 14, something like that, that are in the pipeline. And when we're completed, all of them will be archived at the Queens Memory Project, which is part of the Queens Library. And so where we are now is we've been doing a lot of them in person, and we've done some by remote with cell phones. And so Zoom is such an important part of our lives that we really wanted to experiment around and do several of these listening stops on the Zoom medium and see if there's a way for us to still connect, and how are we doing all of that. And the topic that we're always discussing on the Listening Tour is hope and resilience. And so we call this a very hopeful broadcast, and it gives me a lot of excitement to bring the next group of people on, because they've been with us during probably the most challenging time. I believe that one of our guests was with us for at least a year before the pandemic hit, and everybody else joined us at the height of this. And we were in a canoe just going for the falls, and they just jumped in and picked up an oar, and we went over the falls together, and here we are talking about hope and resilience. So I would like to please welcome Jonelle, Ciara, Rabei, and Sam, and let's have you guys all come on and say hello. Okay.
Hi, I'm Sam.
Hey, I'm Jonelle.
Hi, I'm Ciara.
Hi, I'm Rabei.
So it's really kind of amazing for my eyeballs to see you all, because we are in the living room where I interacted with the majority of you, except Jonelle. Jonelle, have we ever met? We've met face to face, did we? Did you?
Yeah, I was at the festival last year. Yeah,
okay.
I even hosted, I think, the last screening, the last event. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I've seen pictures of myself from the last festival, and I think one of the following statements should have been said. Katha, do you have any rouge? Katha, do you need to sit down? I think it was a kind of an amazing situation last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that you guys are as proud of it as I am. And when I describe it to people, I start crying. And I know it's the same for you.
It was a rough year for all of us, I think, but it was a great opportunity for us to finally get out of our apartments and into the streets and into the theaters again. They were closed for so long, and seeing people and having the opportunity to talk about what we love, which are great films, and being able to be around people who share in some of the same beliefs and passions around filmmaking. I think that that's an exercise of hope, of seeing that there is an end to all of the changes that are going on in our world right now. So it was an awesome experience.
I'm glad. I'm really, nobody wants to work this hard unless it's good for as many people as we can make it be. And I feel that I'm looking at the faces that delivered such incredible experiences to people. Like they came into the theaters like blinking, like they had just come in out of a cave,
Mm-hmm.
And you showed their work.
Yeah.
That was kind of amazing, you guys. Give yourself applause. That was kind of
I will. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start out our listening tour, and I'm going to ask one of you to talk about how did you come to the festival, your brief history, and then you'll just pass it to the next person, and we'll do a round robin, and then we'll get into our prompt. So I am going to go with Ciara. Talk about your history with the festival.
Yes. Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Ciara. I came into the festival in 2019. 2019 was my first year. I learned about it through someone a grade above me at Pace University, and I decided to come in for an interview, and I got sent to the back room in the editing room. So I've been an editor for the festival since, and I really love it. I got to do the sizzle reels, and that's like the most fun thing I could think of to do just in general. So I love the work that I can do with the festival and everything. Yeah. I am going to pass it to Rabei.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rabei. I hope everyone can hear me. Yay. So I'm a fifth year architecture student, actually. So me ending up at the festival was kind of weird, but I made it. I was looking into this work of a documentary filmmaker, and he won an award at the Queen's World Film Festival. So I was like, okay, I'll look into this festival. And while looking for internships, I stumbled upon it, and I really, really loved my experience with it. I was just an intern last year, and I helped with advertising and then on the venues with hosting and everything. And it was one of the best summers of my life, really. So I really appreciated the experience and the people I met along the way. And I would like to pass it on to Sam.
All right. Hi, I'm Sam, and I got involved with the festival last year. Similar to Ciara, I learned about it through someone at Pace. It was my professor. And while I was still in college, I was interning. But as soon as college was over, I was like, Ciara, you got to get me in with Queen's World. Like, I really just enjoyed doing intern stuff with them. Like, I want to do shit with, excuse me, can I curse? Okay. Okay. I want to do stuff with them, as much as possible, because that was just right when we were out of quarantine and everyone was kind of pulling their hair out. And as much as sometimes the festival made me want to pull my hair out, at least I was out of the house, seeing amazing works of art, talking to amazing people. I learned so much, and this is just a great festival, and it was a great way to start my career outside of college. So I'm very thankful.
I guess I'm next. Yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Jonelle again. So I got involved with the Queen's World Film Festival last year, about around January 2021, and originally came on as a social media intern and just working for the most part with Facebook and Instagram and trying to just coordinate some of the promotional events that were taking place leading up to the festival. And I also, Katha gifted me with probably one of the best gifts ever, which was the opportunity to host a Q&A with some of the filmmakers on the last day of the festival. And it actually changed my life because I wasn't really certain about what it was that I wanted to do. I knew I always loved film, but I just couldn't make the leap practical in my mind. I couldn't rationalize the decision to pursue it as a career. And that day I knew I would. And I remember we all had our wrap party afterwards. And I went up there and I was like, I'm going to film school. I'm going. And I am. So it's been a really, it's been life-changing for me. And I'm very appreciative. And this has been a very rewarding experience for sure.
So I actually just pulled you all together to say nice things about the festival, and that's our recording. Thank you for coming by. All right, you guys, that's kind of moving. It's really incredible, and this is another reason why these things have to happen, because now these statements have been recorded, and they will always matter to you, and it'll always matter to me, and that's pretty cool. So our first prompt of the listening tour is, what is the definition of hope? What does hope mean? I'm going with Rabei first. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Okay. I hope my response is hopeful. So to me, hope lies in the unimaginable. It lies in the power of creation. And I don't mean in any way that, oh, the power of creation by God or whatever. As artists, we have a lot of power in what we create and how we work on the ideas that we have. And just this idea of waking up the next morning and working more on what your project or what you're creating is something that is very hopeful to me. It makes me want to wake up the next day. And I think in those tiny moments is where hope lies, especially as creatives. Yeah, so that's my short and sweet and simple answer to hope. And I want to pass it on to Jonelle.
Thank you. I think I'm right along there with you. So to me, hope is the intangible stuff that gets you up every day when things are not going so well. It's whatever it is that you can do, say, think, believe, or feel that will make you keep going when you're not really sure how things are going to turn out, because everything at the moment just either seems impossible, difficult, uncomfortable, scary, or going to result in, I don't know, impending doom. I don't know. But and talking about us as artists, I think what we create, maybe we have a responsibility to help instill that hope in people and kind of remind them why there's meaning in everything that we do, despite sometimes it not feeling like there is any meaning at all. So I'm going to pass that on to Ciara.
Yes. Hope. I love both of those answers, by the way. Those are really cool. I like how it's connected to creativity, but also how hope, I think, can be connected to like how we, not just as like humans, but everybody on this world, we all have a conscience and we all have the ability to make a decision. And I think that, you know, we could see hope in the smallest things of like a little plant, you know, in the morning, like turning its face to the sun. And it's like that decision is keeping that plant alive and it's keeping everything else alive around it. And I think the decisions that, you know, everyone who has like a soul can make decision, that's where I think hope lies, and continuing to thrive and make good, you know, right decisions morally, hopefully. Yeah. I'm going to pass it to Sam.
I mean, yeah, similar to what everyone else said, I believe hope, the definition of hope for me is just the ability to keep going. Even in the small things, like waking up in the morning and like not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to, for some people, not be alive, but you continue staying alive because you have hope that tomorrow is going to be better. And if we didn't have that hope, most people wouldn't show up the next day. Yeah, hope is in the small things. It's in the little jokes you make just to get yourself and others through the day. It's in the little things you do, like not littering or posting something on social media that you care deeply about. It's hoping that everything's going to turn out okay. And yeah, hope is just having that. I don't want to use the term faith, so I'm not going to use it in a religious way. I'm going to use it in my way, just the faith and the belief and the hope that everything's going to turn out okay.
Yeah. Hear, hear.
Did we all go?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just kind of, I get lost in what everybody's saying. And I know that first question, I'm editorializing, which I said I wouldn't do, but I know the first question feels like you're repeating each other, but you're not. You really aren't. Okay, so the next question is, what does resilience mean? Okay, fine. Ciara, you're up.
Yes. I mean, resilience is, sorry, there's a bus outside. Resilience to me is, I mean, the simple act of continuing on even when life gets hard and, you know, life is unfair a lot of times, and but just keep on. But if, yeah, I feel like I'm repeating, but like just the simple decision to, even though, you know, something's hurting you hard in one space, that doesn't mean you have to take it out everywhere else and every part of your life. You can, you know, compartmentalize, but that's just a coping way. But I think like just keep on going, keep on trucking, sing a song. It's all right, you know?
Sing a song.
Sing a song. Yeah. Okay. Jonelle.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think resilience is just remembering that, you know, success isn't forever and failure isn't fatal, right? Everything is mutable. Everything's always going to change. There will always be ups. There will always be downs. And there's really no such thing as a last laugh or a last cry until it's really over. So if you can remember that, then this is only a chapter. This is only a moment. And there's no reason to give up when it's just a moment and there are so many others to come. I think that that's what it is. And I think resilience feeds into hope, because if you have resilience, then you can find hope. If you can really believe that things do change, and they're always changing, whether you like it or not, then you can find the stuff in you to keep going and find that hope, that little light at the end of the tunnel, you know? Hey, I'm going to give it to Sam.
Yeah, similar to what Jonelle said and what I said about hope, it's to be hopeful is to have resilience, and to have resilience is to be hopeful. It was definitely a good choice putting them together, Katha, because they do go hand in hand. It's the resilience and the push that we all give ourselves every morning is what helps us give ourselves hope for the next day. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we all weren't resilient. I think it's something that comes so natural to us as humans, and it's really a beautiful thing. We are all resilient because there's so much going on in this world. Everywhere you look, there's something going on, but we don't turn a blind eye to it. We don't let it make who we are less. We just strive to be better, and we strive to make the world a better place someday. Most people. There are those few, I'm sure, that want to see the world burn. But the people that are here today, and the people that I've met through this festival, and everyone I know in my life, are extremely resilient people who just keep going. And that's resilience for me. And now, Rabei.
I definitely agree with everyone. But when I think of resilience, I really think of a rope, a really thick rope. And if you know how like a rope is made, it's made like with multiple tiny pieces of thread or a string. So resilience to me is essentially just this idea of strength that comes up with those multiple pieces of threads that make up this very strong rope. So the multiple aspects of your talents and abilities, your weaknesses, your strengths that really come together to make you and make you be able to face anything. Or in other words, also, the tiny multiple people coming together and helping each other grow and face anything. That to me, as an individual and as a community, becomes resilience. Yeah.
I'm not going to editorialize. I will wait. But I do thank you for that. And who is the most resilient person that you know? I'm going to go with Sam.
I definitely know a few resilient people. But the first one that came to my mind was Mother Nature. Because all this shit that we throw at her every single day, no matter how hard people are saying this is ruining the earth, Mother Nature is still trying to keep us alive and trying to keep herself alive. And I don't think the earth would have been going on for this long if Mother Nature wasn't resilient. And that's not just whatever this spiritual being of Mother Nature is. It's all the plants, all the trees, all the grass, all the leaves, every little plant, every cloud, everything that I think is part of this earth that is pure is resilient. But if we want a more actual answer, I do think Katha is one of the most resilient people that I know. You've had a lot of things thrown at you in your life, and you've overcome them all, and you're still going. You're still making festivals every year, telling jokes, making festivals every year, creating the topic of hope and resilience. But I do hope you take a second to look at yourself and remember that you are extremely, extremely resilient, and that everything's going to turn out okay for you because you deserve it, and you're resilient, and you're going to keep going because you're resilient. All right, I'm throwing it to Jonelle.
And thank you. I'm coming to your show, Katha. I promise. I'm going to try my best. I am constantly trying to read the memoirs and the biographies of women that have had similar backgrounds to mine and have done something with their lives, because I'm always looking for hope when things are not going so well. I just immediately think of my mother. I don't know so many people that have had a life as hard as she has had. And I don't know so many people that have sacrificed as much as she has sacrificed only for me, only for her children. She has found strength when her health was, in tatters on death's doorstep. She found money when the pink slip was on the door. I mean, she's done a lot in her life, and she doesn't have much to show for it except me. And I just, I'm so grateful for the woman that's in my life, and also Oprah, which is kind of crazy, but she is my, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm talking about Oprah. But I just creatively and artistically, she is so inspirational, and she has done so much with her life. And I dream and hope and pray to be somebody that is that resilient and is that hardworking, and is that creative. So that's my answer. I'm gonna give this back to you, Rabei.
I don't know if I can top that, but Oprah, come on, guys. I want to say my mom too. I've grown up I'm from Pakistan, so I've grown up in a community where women have constantly been put down. We still don't have our rights, compared to, honestly, other societies, because I've seen multiple of them now that I'm here. The metaphor that you still use for women is like, the sole of your shoes, which is just downright painful. When you walk outside, you need a male next to you to protect you. You can't wear what you want. And the way my mother has survived through all that, through sickness, through health, through taking care of, just 4 children, through losing very important people in her life, including me to here. I think she has survived through a lot, and just seeing how strong she is today is something that gives me so much hope that, I don't know, it just feels like she's constantly been hit by rocks to this day, like metaphorically, of course. And just the fact that she's still standing, she's still struggling, she's still taking care of the little ones, she's still surviving is something that's very inspirational to me. And also my father. Because although he does so much for my family, like we have our own small business, and he goes to work at 9 a.m, comes back at 2 a.m. at night, and spends any 45 minutes that he has with us, and goes to bed and goes to work in the morning again without any weekends. So I think my parents are the most resilient people I know, and I can't be thankful enough to them for being resilient and giving me hope to survive. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to Ciara.
It's Ciara. I'm so sorry, Ciara. I've been calling you Ciara all night.
That's okay. No, don't worry.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. No worries at all. It happens. All good. But yeah, like both of you, like Jonelle and Rabei. Also, I'm also gonna say my mom. I mean, Oprah's a good answer too. I should throw that out. But yeah, I have to say my mom. She had a lot of stuff thrown at her that was just bad. She grew up in Ireland, but she was taken away to America, but she didn't want to. And but she's had a hard life of trying to she has a very hard family life, and she went through so much by herself. She had to leave her family and by a teenager, and she had to just figure out life on her own in Philadelphia. And she became a nurse practitioner during the AIDS epidemic, and during COVID, she worked every single day. She was in every day, and the fact that she still, has a lot of troubles with her family to this day, both here and in Ireland, and trying to gain back her identity and belonging in Ireland. It's a hard, long legal issue, but she goes through it every day, but she still goes to work and saves people every day, and she doesn't expect anything back in return, and it's admirable. And yeah, she's very resilient. She just constantly keeps on going without a second thought that, no, of course I'm gonna, go to work. Of course I'm gonna go save people. There's no I'm not gonna stop doing this. And there's no, I'm not gonna stop fighting for my, my property in Ireland. She keeps on going. She won't stop. And I admire that a lot.
Hold on, you're going to get me in trouble. My mom is also resilient. I'm adding her to my list. Everyone said that. No, my mom is super resilient too, if I may continue going. She had me when she was 16. And that's just crazy in itself. I think about when I was 16, and if I were to pop one out, what the fuck? I wouldn't know what the hell to do with it. So she's super resilient for that. She continued always since then, since she popped me out. She's been providing for me. She's been making it work. And she's just continuing to keep going and to keep bettering herself and to keep bettering me at the same time. And that's extremely resilient. Thanks, guys.
That's just kind of amazing to hear about the strength of your moms, and that just puts a lot of pieces into place for me and knowing you guys. So our last question is, what do you hope for? What do you hope for? And let's start with Jonelle.
Probably because it's so fresh. I really hope that the country can sort of take a chill pill a little bit, sort of get it together. Right now, when I was a kid, me and my siblings, we used to fight a lot. And I remember my mom just kind of never caring about what the argument was about, but just that you just get your shit together. And that's what I just hope for. I don't really even know how that would happen. And that's why I think it requires hope, because on my best day, I can't think of a single solution to all of the disunity. But I just really hope we can get our shit together. That's what I'm really hoping for. Sam.
Same as you, man. It's not even just with this country, it's everywhere. I hope that we as a planet can get our shit together, because honestly, nothing is really going to get fixed unless we all decide that we want to fix it. It's like with just America alone, we can't fix our country if everyone's trying to say something different. There has to be some type of unity at some point. And starting small, starting in state to state, and then this country, and then that country, that's the way it's going to have to go. But I do hope at some point that we are all able to figure it out and continue life going. It's really sad because me and a lot of people I know were just like, should we even have kids? Like, what's the point of having kids anymore if the world's going to end when they're born? And that's just so shitty, because I feel like there's so much left to learn and to do. And I always wanted some kids, not at 16, but when I'm a little bit older, I would really like to have kids. But there's no point of having kids if they're just going to live in misery, live with the problems that our generation didn't fix, that the last generation started, and generation before them, and so on and so forth. And it's a big hope, but I do hope that everyone on this planet is able to figure it out and lead with love and hope and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to throw it to Ciara.
Yes, I love that. I'm big on like what you said about how a lot of people like our age are feeling this way about the world, but also about like and the environment, how it's, you know, in a couple years, not a couple years, about like in a couple decades from now, a bunch of islands are going to be underwater, you know, countries are going to potentially be underwater if we don't start doing something. And it's like, a lot of young people are feeling this like kind of dread that the future is not looking good unless, you know, we start some colonies in space. But I don't know about that. That's getting crazy. That's getting iRobot-y, and I don't know. There wasn't a lot of hope in that. But that's my hope, is that, you know, we today, and we are starting with cleaning up the oceans. I see a lot of it, but you know, we have to get the big governments doing it. And that's the hardest part. So that's my hope, is that they finally decide we have to clean up. You know, the world needs to keep living. So yeah, Rabei.
I agree with all of that. I hope for the world to become a better place, very dumbly put. I hope for people to care for each other more and to care for their surroundings more. I hope for them to be more empathetic towards everything around them. And, you know, I've been studying the Haudenosaunee community over in upstate, and they're really, the way of life is really in every decision that you make, big or small, you have to think about the next 3 generations. And I think that's a great step to move forward, that in decisions that you're taking, you are caring for your future, not just your immediate future, but your futures. And I really hope that we get to a point where we do that, not only individually, but also, you know, have these, like Ciara said, big corporations do it, because I know that as individually we can create a lot of change among us and the people around us in our surroundings, but the people who are actually owning the power, the money, the change that they can create is just immense. And I really hope that they get their shit together and can do something to make the world again a better place. And I'm hopeful for that. I'd like to be.
When I look at you guys, I have hope. I'm in a great position because I have the opportunity to have watched so many young people become who I consider colleagues, and working not necessarily in the business at all, but working in their passions. And I think that what the 4 of you bring to the table is incredible. And, you know, if there was a call to action, I would say, you know, my deal is lean into it. I mean, when you see this and you really hear everybody else, and, you know, you're not thinking about yourselves, because it's hard not to do in something like this, but when you really have the time to watch this and see what's so special about all of you, it's really kind of amazing. There has to be a reason that we all came together. There has to be a reason. And if it's not preordained, which I don't think it is, then it's up to us to make that reason become apparent. And I feel like I'm like working at a new way of governing. I might be looking at, like, I don't know, a production company on Mars. I mean, they're going to want to do something. And when you say that you're not sure if that works about colonizing, oh, they're way ahead of us. They're way ahead of us. So, but I really want to thank you for your testimony, and it's just really incredible. So let's wrap this up with, like, what are you up to right now, Jonelle? What are you doing? What's going on these days?
Yeah, so I'll be spending the summer at NYU Tisch taking some screenwriting courses and then hoping to apply for their MFA program in September.
Okay.
That's awesome. Good for
Thank you.
Okay. Ciara, what are you up to?
I am doing a bunch of freelance at the moment. I'm at a production company. I'm about to go to Chicago for like a Black Ink Chicago out there. And I'm also at Indie Collect. Also, I do restoration, color correction, and editing. So that's pretty fun too. I'm just, doing a bunch of side gigs, but I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun this spring. So yeah.
Well, this is what's called your career. I mean, you're building the widest variety of network, and you're working in a variety of fields. Yeah, this is a career. You're right in the middle of it.
This is a pretty fun career. I'm having fun so far. I wish it paid a little bit more because New York's expensive, but
yeah,
I'm getting by, so I'm happy.
Rabei, what are you up to?
Many things. Okay. So like I said, I'm an architecture student, but I want to really go into production design. So unfortunately, this summer I'm doing a corporate architecture internship on the weekdays. But on the weekends, I'm working with my mentor, who's a production designer, on a new film that she's going to make, and the shooting's going to be in Boston. So I'm really excited for that. I'm also getting geared up to create this, to really take this very, very, very hard documentary film production course that everyone dreads to do next semester. So I'm gonna have to do that. And I am also getting ready for my thesis semester, which is next semester, and I'm really hoping to create a project that is meaningful, and I don't know where that meaning is going to come from, but I guess that's the start. And last but not least, I'm working with the Taino community in Dominican Republic to create really this confluence that can help boost their economy and, foster their cultural connections. Yeah.
Thank you. Sam, what are you doing these days?
What am I not doing? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of production stuff, and I've kind of leveled up in the production world. They're letting me touch the camera now on some big stuff, so that's very exciting. They call me AC, assistant camera, It's really exciting stuff. It's really exciting stuff. I'm going to Chicago with Ciara. We're doing some stuff there. But I just love being in any creative space. I would love to be able to take a breath and work on my own stuff, finish writing a screenplay, maybe. That would be nice. Make my own film. That would be nice. But I'm learning so much. I'm learning things that I didn't even think I'd learn. I'm learning like tech stuff and like how to make things work in the air, like connection stuff and whatever. It's really all exciting, and I'm taking in so much information, and I'm constantly learning, and I love learning, and I love learning without failing tests at the end of learning. So it's really great. And if anyone needs anybody to help them with anything, I'm here. I would love to be a part of whatever. I feel like you guys are very like-minded, very smart people, and I'm here to help if you guys need anything.
Ditto.
Likewise.
It's probably time to wrap up, and I think maybe the most resilient person tonight might be Sam, who was perched on the edge of a bathtub the entire broadcast, and has maybe the snazziest background that I've seen, outside of Jonelle's. But seriously, you might want to do something with that. That's not bad back there.
Yeah, I'll make it a tapestry.
All right, you guys. Listen, thank you so much, for just being present and being present for each other, and taking the step to talk about some things that I think that as creatives, we're just expected to have this switch that flips it on, and we deliver and we come in and we make things where nothing exists. Stuff in the air, I guess Sam is engaged over there. And the very act of making something is an act of hope. And so thank you for coming on the listening tour. And you guys, I'm just so proud of all of you, and I'm thankful that you let us be a small part of your lives and your great adventures. So be well, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Katha. Thank you, Connor.
Thank you, guys.
So much.
Yes, Connor, we can't say goodnight until we say that this whole thing has happened because of Connor and his ideas for the Hopeful broadcast. So thank you, Connor.
Thank you, Connor.
Thanks,
Having
Connor.
hope.
Hats off, Connor.